So this time I will try to explain the body and time concept more in more detailed way. And I'll start from the very idea of ontology, and that it is focused, and its subject is the very existence right now, in this very moment, and in moments which are passing as I am saying this and as you are listening. And this is now and now, and I'm doing this right now. So in this every now, there is me, there is something, and ontology is concerned only with this every now, in which the being, the the the, the something for now, which is concerned with this now, which is us, each of us, is, every now is authentic, and in the same time we are, the now is authentic, we are authentic, but there is something which remains constant through these nows, and it regards this being, and it's kind of a nature of being to, in some part, transgress, transverse, transcend the now, the passage of time, and some parts remain, and this may be past or future, but now is always, it has always something regarding its essence. So this is the first, I think, postulate or premise or idea about ontological, the methodology of the ontological interpretation, because this is again this questioning of now, of this existence, which is something which is even not now for now, but Heidegger exactly does through this for now, or now that, or using all these phrases that we use to construct the meaning, and the message that we are communicating. It's always temporal, and it's always is it's all it's he finds out the temporal nature of of our of our of our different psychological processes. And what he finds out is that we always come back to this now, which is again a now. And now I can start the story from the beginning. This is now. And what is this now that was now before? And in the 40th second of this video. And this is again now. And I can start the story beginning, from the very beginning, from just now, from just realizing that there is something now, so that I am, that there is definitely, or even in the conceptual level, we have the I, which funny resembles the eye as an organ, as a seeing organ, with I, which is also Alif in Arabic, or Arabic languages, or even Hebrew, I think Aleph. So the I, the one, the us, not the us, the I, the you, the anybody who's looking at this video now. This the level of conception. This is also important to talk. I mean, to mention the level of conception, because now, when talking about this questioning, I think this is the best term to use for this, to what I'm trying to do, and in general, the questioning is done from the certain perspective within our mind. So a kind of a question is like an opening, and I think the question that this first ontological question of who is, who am I, or coming back to this now, or what is this now? Yeah, what I am, what am I? Yeah. So this is this kind of a first question that opens the door to research and to explore who am I, and then to see that, and from this point, from this opening of this question, the space in which research can be done is immense, is huge, and you can see it in all human sciences and so many sociological, social researchers, and always come back to these registers and registers and registers of information of, who am I in like generic terms. And this is all, again, now a kind of a, this is all interpretation, and in this called hermeneutics, and it's like finding this question and then enclosing yourself within this question, or finding a certain methodology or certain science and enclosing within it. So ontology is just a specific type of interpretation which actually aims at accuracy on the very basic level of logic. Logic as a language which is kind of universal and understandable among cultures, and for example, so logic is such a medium that that Arabs translated Aristotle, and then the Western scholars of the, I think maybe pre-Renaissance or before Renaissance or Middle Ages, translated the works of Aristotle, and also the works of Aristotle and some other, I don't know, some other, you need to research if you want exact information, but it's like the works from ancient Greek philosophy in Western world come from translating it from Arabic. So the point is that the logic is kind of a transferable medium. It can, it's just, and that is somehow kind of a language of ontology, and it ontology aims at being precise and accurate, um, and about just trying to remain at the level of pure reason of, this, let's say, ability to pose the question of who am I. So even the possibility to ask this question of who am I is in itself a symptom of some ability, of skill. And the nature of this skill and the nature of its accuracy, its precision, is something that is what is aimed in ontological research. So, again, coming back to now, which is again now authentic. Yeah, it's already 10 minutes. Now it's 10 minutes of the talk, and I already said so many times now, which is all authentic in terms of it's just new, and new things happened, and just someone just entered in the house, for example. So the the research starts from now, and the why is now important because we always come back to now, and this is first, as we said, like fundament of or foundation of ontological research. And what happened, what Heidegger did is he mapped all, like all, not maybe all, but a lot of generally known states of mind, like fear, which is actually fleeing away, going away, from the very moment, from the being. And yeah, maybe it's important to now uh, understand this being with big B. What this being with big B. So I think I'll just be using always when I say being, it's always with big B, and what Heidegger means with this. And this is translation. Actually, Heidegger uses Dasein, and I'm not quite sure, but it's like literal translation would be there being, like Dasein. Uh, I'm not sure, but I mean, I have some basic knowledge of German, and I get the point. And in translation is being. It's like I am. It's the construction of being, of I am, of having a subject and predicate. I think that's called a verb, a noun and a verb, a subject and an active part. And what is subject doing, and in a now it's just I am. And first Greek antique philosophers, what they did, they asked this question of who am I, or what I'm doing here, what am I, what's my purpose, and all these questions. They are kind of a, maybe let's say, variations of one thought, of questioning, maybe of initial questioning, of will to understand, of curiosity, it's this. Many concepts will have to be redefined if this will be discussed in proper way. The idea about body and time, because now I'm also body and time. Body, which is definite representation of time, of as being. So again, coming to being, so what is this being in big with big B is I am. So this I am as a construct together, as if that there is something and that it exists, it runs, it falls, it flees, comes back to, it runs away from, it turns back to, it awaits, it is waiting for, it is ready to. And so, this I can be so many, can do so many things, but there is just generic thing about that this I is doing something. And this is in most simplest terms defined as am in English, as I am in German is Dasein, in Turkish it's according to my knowledge it would be benim. In Slavic languages it would be ya sam, with where ya is I and sam is am. So this is what Heidegger defines as being, this generic happening of myself in every now that is basic and that I always come back to. When I'm, for example, sad, I will come back to this now, maybe in different, there, as I said, some part of me will change, but I will come back to now and to myself, which I will always recognize myself as myself. And that's like unmistakably, except maybe, yeah, now we can talk about the medicine in whole from the whole new perspective. If we just consider now as something most valuable in philosophical research, the now in terms of existence, of being, of really what is being, as that I am in every now, and now I'm still myself, I'm definitely myself in this now. Maybe I'm changed, maybe through this talk I understood some things better, or I got some new ideas, or I said something wrong, or I made some mistake in my cognition, and maybe I'm talking, maybe, so many things can happen, but still now is again now, and I'm still being in this now, without any undeniably. I can now sleep and I can wake up, we will wake up, and I will still be. I will not. This problem is, you cannot deny the existence. Just if you look at it from the other perspective, you cannot deny the existence. So now I am being now, and now this now. When I say now, I can in this place just say I am. So in every instead of saying now, I can say I am. But this I am come, as I started with ancient Greek philosophers, started from be from the conception that there is just like that's why I say cosmology, I think, like kind of a search for the meaning in the outside world. Not maybe strictly in this sense, but I mean ancient Greek philosophers, they are original in their thought, maybe in questioning. I mean, now I'm not that good in history to know if they got the idea of this kind of questioning with logic from, among themselves or from another culture. But in general, um, they their inspiration until today, I mean, it's inevitable and undeniable. The inspiration, potential of the works from ancient Greece. But what happened is that kind of this seeing yourself or being as something which is outside, reduced to the inside, and cogito ergo sum, which is I think therefore I am, means that, oh wait, because my being, my existence is like like it can be reduced to my by the questioning itself. And Heidegger, I mean, he recognized this now very obvious and evident moment, but in if you see it through the historical perspective, it's an enormous leap, uh, a gap which is traversed by his um, recognition of I am as being, and that this being already is a construct of I and am, and this relationship of me, of I being something, being, but just having being before being something, actually, it's like a proto-psychology, and it 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 it's, I mean, I cannot really understand. This is another problematic which arises from from the definition of Heidegger's Dasein, Dasein from the generally accepted, let's say, Hegel's um, Hegel. Yeah, I think Hegel is the guy, who people now refer to in terms of psychology and psychoanalysis and psychophilosophy, let's say. And in this way of understanding the world, it's like there is I, and this being is already outside. That there is I inside, and that there is this being which is already outside. It's like I'm being my being is kind of you cannot, it cannot escape the outside, the other, you know. So in today, what we consider the other is the conception of the outside, of what is not I. I mean, this am, in I am, the am belongs, the, the, the conception of am belongs to the conception of the outside, of the other. And I, I think, I just think, uh, or maybe now this is also the question of feeling, and coming back to now, and coming back to many things which how the feeling can be or shall be described in terms where this I am as being is a totality within myself, which is then directed towards the outside. So there is first the relationship between me and or I, or body, yeah, and the body and time and the now. There is this relationship before this being has a relationship with the other, with the conception of the other. So there is a bit more. This shall be a bit more complex construction on the basic level of now. And I don't know, I mean, yeah, even in the work of Being in Time, Heidegger just somehow very easily abandons his whole methodology, as if someone has, I don't know. But it does, you write 400 pages of like very um, precise ontological research and go through most of the you know present phenomena that one can gather as fear, anxiety, so much. I mean, this is like for me hermeneutics in general, referring to other people who criticizes. I mean, going through all these psychological phenomena, describing it ontologically, reaching at the concept of temporality as an inevitable part of being, but part of being because he knew that he was left to understand how this local time, local experience of now, as a unique, authentic, and how is this? How then is this time, local time, possibly possible to transverse and have kind of a shared time? He was it's like he had the idea that he agreed this good idea that there is local time within being, and the time of the outside of the other, being in the day, for example. As for example, just very short like not discourse but digression of he said being in day as a form of uh, thought process where we are not authentic but we are existing, we are conceiving ourselves within some other context, within some other location. We are present in some other location. And this is like proto-psychology, and I mean everything more talking about this, this is just, I think, a religion. And this is why first Heidegger's work is really it's from my perspective, from my point of view, it's a huge work, and very strict, and, as I said, precise and accurate academic work. And this talk about accuracy and precision is comes back to and brings back to now, from the past to now, to go so we can go back to past and talk about what was present in the past, but at the same time is present at the hand now. So this is how I'm just for some time now. I just was talking about things in like ontological language. Yeah, but in anyways, the thing about accuracy is that the true academic work and the works that have survived the years I mean, if we look at Western academia, because it is most advanced and everybody else is translating what's being produced in most, in the West world, or write works inspired by the findings in the West. And that's the fact as well. And I only things that were precise, accurate, and true in the way remained, and uh, the, there is um, there is a good tendency, but in practical sciences, there is a good that the precision, the accuracy is up, but in philosophical and psychological and social science and design and architecture, so many things is left for to interpretation, which is, I think, I don't know it's in purpose or not, but it's it's a very big ontological mistake, and it it cannot go unpunished in terms of if you conceive things in the wrong way and you invest a lot of money in it, then it have to fail sometime. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, the Heidegger, he defined everything. I don't know why his network recognized, but he just failed to incorporate the uninevitable presence of the body in every now. The body that if I will now want to do something, like blink, yeah, it's available at now, it's in the now. So present in the now, and not maybe the blinking of the eye is trivial example, but I can just for like without stop hear myself breathing, you know or if maybe I can be aware of my breathing or not aware of my breathing, and if I'm aware of my breathing, for example, if I focus on my breathing, that can be, we can say that I am. I not even, I can also say I'm breathing, because if I'm not breathing, I'm dead, so I say I am. So I am. uh, and why? Because I'm saying I'm breathing because of this. So this the connection between body and the time, the existence, is inevitable, and that's why, I mean, the conception itself uh, has to be, according, because in also, I mean, let's coming back to now, to this moment. If I, do this, put do some pain to myself, for a second, depending on the size of the pain, the now can be gone